we speak about how to transform to the cloud and how to start the journey with the cloud. But I would like to ask you, what are, in your opinion, the first steps that banks should do with planning to the process and to the transition to the cloud? Maybe Marcin.
Good morning, everyone, and glad to be here. Thank you for the invitation. I think that the first question should be why we should implement the cloud, because the cloud is a branch of services of technology. But we should first of all talk about why we would like to implement it. What is the purpose of to implement it, the cloud? What goal we would like to achieve through these tools? Some organization would like to make the better operational efficiency, and someone would like to reduce some costs to achieve financial goals. In the cloud is possible to achieve both these goals in the same time. That's, in my opinion, should be the first question. Why?
I'm quite critical about the awareness of the cloud technology and its kind of an advance on the Polish industry, mainly the financial sector. Why? I remember 2016. We met under the umbrella of Gdańska Akademia Bankowa, nowadays European Financial Congress, led by Professor Leszek Pawłowicz. And we met with colleagues from Google. Magda Dziewguć was at that time with us 7 years ago. And there were colleagues from Czeska Sporytelna, Czech PKO BP, so the leader of the Czech market. And these colleagues came to Poland, and we met with representatives of leading Polish banks at that time, 7 years ago. And we concluded, after what we saw from these colleagues from Czeska Sporytelna Bank, we have to hurry up, we have to rush to the cloud. 7 years later, where we are now. I have the comparison, and I have the possibility to look through the market. I'm talking about the Polish financial market, and I'm not very much happy about what I see. The train, which name cloud is, already is passing by from the train station. We are sitting not in the first class. We are somewhere in the between middle and the, let's say, those ending classes. I have to be critical what I see, because I also look throughout the banking world globally. I'm talking about what I see throughout the United States, throughout East Asia, throughout the Australia, New Zealand, South Africa, Nigeria, Brazil. All those financial leaders coming from that regions, from that countries, are already in the cloud. Different companies providing with the cloud's infrastructure, of course. Google is one of the examples. But nevertheless, what I'm telling, what I'm still believing in, is that Polish financial market is the final call, really final call, to jump into and to be much, much more brave with the cloud approach. So, my opinion, based on a really, I would risk to say, quite well double-checked knowledge, coming not only from the Polish, not only from the European, but from the global banking perspective, we have the research on that, is that the time is running by very fast, and we have to speed up, really speed up, because the innovation that we are proud of is never given for the whole time. We have to hurry, we have to do it quickly, we have to be much more braver than before.
Yeah, thank you, Bartek. This is why I sometimes mention that as a Polish market, we are thinking that we are in the top of the race when it comes to innovations, but in the cloud, I think that I read about more than 11 strategies of Polish banks, and I find out that many of them, they have the cloud transformation in their strategy. But as you mentioned, there are many regions right now, as Brazil, for example, the latest, my insight, the sector in 2 years, right now they are doing amazing job when it comes to the cloud. Maybe there are some challenges, maybe there are some risks, and also I will try to merge these two questions to you about the strategy of maybe what kind to train the staff, because from my opinion, sometimes the IT is well known about the cloud, but there are some parts in the banking ecosystem that have still to learn about. I think about the compliance, I think about the law departments. Also, I think that still the knowledge, there are many risks from their perspective.
Yeah, I fully agree with that. But what we observe is a still lack of knowledge inside the organization regarding the cloud, how it use it, how this order, how to manage this kind, and how to secure. And I really recommend as a start point to use the training which is provided by the hyperscalers. Is almost free of charge, this training. I mean, the Google training, Microsoft WBS training is very good to start. It's technical training. It's not focused on the business side, but it's a really technical training, and I think this is a very good point to start it. And of course, I think experience is the best way to learn. And as was mentioned in a previous presentation, let's choose one non-critical application, one non-critical workload, like DRC, like backup, like I don't know, non-critical application, and move the first application to the cloud, and look at and collect the knowledge how to manage, how to secure. And I think this is the best way, in my opinion, of course, to do this. This journey is not the jump, in my opinion. It's a journey. It's a journey to the cloud, especially for the financial sector, because it's technically complicated. It's a lot of stuff inside the banks.
Okay.
I will also try to add something to what Marcin already said. Given the financial markets perspective or the banking sector perspective, I totally agree that we have to invest into people's competition throughout the organizations. This shall not be like there are only, let's say, hidden IT guys that know everything about the cloud, and this is not the time for doing that. So it must be very open, transparent, and devoted with a huge effort from the whole organization, mainly from the board or boards, and from the N-1 from the senior level, executives level, throughout the whole organization. Once you have the green light for the road to cloud, you shall do this so. And I talked to Marcin Karczmarczyk. Perhaps a couple of you heard about this colleague, a Polish board member of the biggest Ukrainian bank. And bearing in mind that there is the war in Ukraine, in Ukraine right now, I talked about his experience, why it happened successfully to migrate to cloud just after 24th of February 2022. And he answered me something like, because it was, let's say, accident from this point of view. They were not prepared for the migration at that moment, but they were prepared for the migration to the cloud in a couple of months throughout 2022. Nevertheless, they managed to move to the cloud over 60% of the critical processes, channels, branches, ATMs, cash operations, backups, etc., to the 4 regions in less than 2 weeks, and almost no fallbacks, no problems. Why? Because they started the journey as a private bank in 2020. So they were in a process. The war started. Okay, let's go. Let's move. Let's do this. And of course, the colleagues from the United States that prepared the infrastructure for them, the hardware, they were also fully devoted to that process. Summing up, entering the cloud, it's shall be really full organization approach, business approach, IT approach, organization model approach, and the cloud journey shall be throughout the organization well communicated as well.
Yeah, I think that I heard what Mariusz said in Sopot. It was amazing that the war was this the huge thing for them to start the migration in 3 months. They put everything to the cloud. I also like what you, Marcin, said. Let's sometimes start from one application, one tool. This is, for example, when I'm looking at our solution LiveBank, there's also the simple tool, easy for start with, because it's not the core banking. It is a way when you can, for example, make a transformation of, for example, the branches. That's why the topic is also how to create a virtual branch. But going back to the regulations, I know, Bartek, that you was also a very important part when it comes to the Polish National Cloud Standard hosted by your organization. And can you tell something else about how you prepare this and why it is important, for example, for the banks to look at this? Because from my opinion, it's a great guideline for the vendors and also for the banks who would like to start with the cloud, because it is, we know the Polish KNF, it have very different opinions, but I think your Polish National Cloud Standard document was very breathtaking when it comes to clarify it.
Thank you for that question, and thank you for taking up this issue on the table. Why? Because this is quite not obvious. It's not standard. Looking at the markets, financial markets throughout the Europe, we are as Poles given as a good example of doing something together, taking away the competition in between us. I mean, in between banks. And this is something that we shall be proud of and be happy of. Why? Because we gathered together over 100 people for the projects, colleagues from law, compliance, regulations, IT, business, projects, operations, etc., plus the external law companies, plus technology companies like Google, like Microsoft, like Amazon Web Services. And we sat together over 1.5 years of the project, ending up with a document called Polish Cloud 2.0. And as you said, this is a rule book for the financial market. We already also gave the chance to our colleagues from the insurance for the Polska Izba Ubezpieczeniowa. We gave the rights to go through that document and prepare the same standard for the insurance companies. And this is an example for how to start the journey with the cloud for the financial market. This is, okay, each institution has its own approach, its own model, IT, business, etc., how to jump into, how to start with the cloud journey, cloud mode. But there are 3 pillars that I would like to stress, to point your attention on. One is the legal issues that we also discussed with Polish Financial Authority, KNF. The second, from this KNF perspective, which is the risk approach, the risk models that you have to go through once you apply for the cloud. And the third one is the security. And once you go through the Polish standard cloud, Polish cloud standard 2.0, you will find the answers for these 3 main fundamental pillars that you have to apply, that you have to be compliant with once you are a bank, with a decision, with a strategy, with the philosophy of entering the cloud. So I would like to thank all of you from the banking sector, from the technology, from the Banking Technology Forum, because Ailleron also belongs to this association led by Polish Banking Association, that you help us and you work with us and you're open for the support with your experience. Once you enter the cloud, you give the support. So thank you again also for being a part of the community. This is very much welcome and visible.
What is your opinion about the cloud watching the future, for example, of financial Polish sector, and also when it comes to the banks, to the leasing companies, insurance also? How can the cloud accelerate, for example, the whole digitalization of, for example, traditional banks, as we had the last time of our technology breakfast? We speak a lot about the changing new approach for how to manage traditional channels in the banks like branches are, and how, for example, in your opinion, the cloud solution, for example, like Live Bank, but how the cloud can accelerate the processes inside the bank so they can deliver more digital, but still remember about the traditional, because we heard a lot about the buzzwords like, for example, Gen AI, the prompts that can help the customers. We heard a lot. Maybe we'll start with Marcin.
It's no doubt that the cloud can accelerate this process because it's easy to use. Yeah, you have it in the cloud. You have it 100 or 1,000 services which is can implement like for one click. Yeah, you can use it, and in 1-2 weeks you have a whole solution, whole digital solution for, I don't know, one process in the bank, ready to use. It was not possible if you take to the account the on-prem or the classic approach in this kind of institution. For example, I don't talked about ready-to-use application like Ailleron application, yeah, but you have it whole digital process inside this application, end-to-end, and implemented in a basic way into few weeks. Yeah, you can use it whole, secure, and ready-to-use application covered 1, 3, or maybe more processes in the bank for few weeks. Yeah, it will be not possible without the cloud. Yeah, without solution which is ready to use in the cloud.
I'll answer in such an approach. Looking for the best digital models, almost all of them are already in cloud. Why? Because it's easy to enter, it's easy to come back, it's easy to do the U-turn, it's easy to learn, it's easy to navigate through, it's easy to combine, it's easy to do the micro, what was not so easy on-prem. Full stop. Once I entered the benchmarking book and talked to Forrester, talked to Gartner, talked to big consultants, they give the example of the digital banks that were opened just before the COVID or are being opened right now. 95% of them are already in cloud. Third, I talked to one of the newest companies that delivered the application to enter the FTB, Forum Technologii Bankowych, and I talked to these colleagues, asking, give me the best example that you are very proud of. Where was that? How you did the project? And guess what? They gave me an example of opening the bank in Malaysia, fully in cloud, with full architecture open in cloud. And I asked them, how many clients, how many customers do you serve there? 40 million. 40 million. Okay, 2 years projects, everything is brilliant, beautiful, and they are very proud because the full architecture, full preparation was from the beginning to the end of that project, go live fully from the start in the cloud. In my opinion, okay, you as a bank always shall have a philosophy, a strategy. Someone can say, cloud is not for me. And I will not discuss with this approach if it comes up from the philosophy, strategy, and from the real decision on the facts of the data, saying that the board says we are not entering this cloud because behind us stays the philosophy, the strategy. We do not need that. But nevertheless, 9 out of 10 banks right now in Poland are experimenting, doing the POCs, or on production with the cloud approach. Happy for that. Not commenting whether it's too late or not. In my private opinion, I gave you a couple of minutes ago what I think of it. You have to maintain the innovation. As I said before, I'm on the banking sector seeing Jurek Zań, seeing Kasia Tomczyk-Czykier somewhere in the audience. We are in the banking sector, believe me, couple of years. We were building this, happy of its innovation, but it is not given for the whole time. We have to invest, we have to deliver, we have to always learn and find better from us and copy it as soon as possible and be always very close to our customers.
Yeah, maybe I will try to sum it up with a great example. Several years ago, we probably heard about the bank called Nubank in Brazil. We've heard about Brazil, what is the region, this is so far away. Right now, this bank is running about 80 million customers. It is fully digital bank without any branches, full products with digital, and it is second largest bank in Brazil. And it started this road to the second place about the whole COVID process. So this is the example why the customers, for example, would love to, especially the youngest generation, drive into the digital branches, digital banking, virtual banking. And I think that what is also important, Nubank is fully also based on the cloud solutions right now. They are investigating all the cloud solutions as a Brazil sector. And in my opinion, it will be much more innovative sector than Poland. In few years, when they will have this still approach and fastening the innovations as they do right now. Okay, thank you, gentlemen, very much for this debate. Thank you for having you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Give them a warm applause. Thank you. Thank you.